Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
On this day in history, December 13th, 2003, nobody had to be told who America got. Special forces captured the ace of spades, the one-time strongman who ruled Iraq with an iron fist, ended up in a rat hole covered by a trap door. Delta Force members got a tip, flew out. They missed him on the first search, only to pull Saddam Hussein out just before leaving the target. The Army's Night Stalker helicopter pilots brought the Delta Force guys in. Dr. Mark Green flew in as their flight surgeon, an emergency room physician. Green would patch up any of the Delta guys who got hurt and keep Saddam alive if they got into a firefight. He's with us now. Now, a congressman from the great state of Tennessee. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Not many people get to say they were on the mission that captured Saddam Hussein. It seems like, though, 19 years, we've kind of forgotten about it in a way.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of people, there are people that are in the military today who weren't alive at that time, which is, difficult to believe. But yeah, I think people moved on.
Is there a danger in moving on that not only do we forget the lessons of the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan, but we also forget the consequences?
Yeah, absolutely, Leland. And we are engaged in other places across the world right now, and we have to realize, I mean, remember, we supported Saddam in the fight against Iran. And so then we have to go in and take Saddam out. So you just have to pay very close attention to what you're doing and think about what the downstream effects are. So learning from what happened there is essential.
You spent time with him, obviously, when you pulled him out, put him on the helicopters, flew him back. This is your picture of him sleeping.
Yeah.
You couldn't leave him alone because you guys wanted to keep him alive. What was, if you were to take something from your conversations with him, what would it be?
Well, there were several things that he said, but I think from a history standpoint, the most informative thing he said was why he started. I asked him why he started the war with Iran, and he essentially said that he and Khomeini had struck a deal when Khomeini was hiding from the Shah in Iraq. So you've got a Shia cleric hanging out in a Shia country run by Sunnis. They cut a deal that Saddam would protect him if, when Khomeini got to power in Iran, he would cede coastlines so that Saddam could get some more oil out. Of course, Khomeini basically refused the deal after he got in power, and Saddam said he basically went to war to take what had been promised to him in a deal.
It says a lot both about the Ayatollah and about Saddam that he'd be willing to do that. Speaking of Iran, we prop up the Shah, you've got the revolution, then we prop up Saddam, then we go after and kill Saddam, and now we're in a position of having to go after Iran. How do we figure out who our enemies are?
That's a very good question for this administration. They seem to have a hard time with that. Remember, when Joe Biden was vice president, he made a deal with Iran, which was a horrible deal. The last administration ended that deal. Now they're back trying to negotiate with these guys. Of course, now they're supporting the Russians against the Ukrainians. And this protest that resulted when this young woman was basically murdered by the regime has us in a unique situation once again, and the administration seems to be waffling on it. Here they are. They've killed over 400 people in these protests, imprisoned 18,000 of them. This is huge. It's sweeping the country, and it's an opportunity. But this administration seems to be asleep at the wheel. They still want an Iran deal.
The teams that you worked with back in the day, this is pictures of the executions of some of the protesters in Iran. The teams you worked with back in the day were the best of the best. So much has been made about military readiness, and that not only is the readiness down, but our ability to project force around the world is just not at the same level it used to be. Is that possible to turn around before it's too late?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously the vaccine mandate, which was the biggest hit to readiness in the past 18 months or so, diminished recruiting, and they were compelling people to get out. So that vaccine mandate has been removed. So that's a huge plus right there. In terms of equipment, we still have the best equipment in the world. Our force is still the most lethal fighting force on the planet. And I would tell you that we can project power globally anytime we want to. So it's not it's not that the mission can't be accomplished. It's that if we don't continue to improve the equipment that we have, grow the force, train the force, then we could be in trouble in the future. And that's a big concern under this administration because they're not funding DOD.
Yeah, no, just the funding isn't there. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.